Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about my plans for tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be Thursday, July 9th, and that day is special because it will be the very first day that the Downtown Disney District in Anaheim, California will be reopened. So obviously back in early March, due to the coronavirus pandemic, Disney pretty much shut everything down, including their theme parks, hotels, cruise ships, obviously, and the Downtown Disney District in Anaheim and Disney Springs in Florida around Walt Disney World. And, you know, speculation had been going on for a long time. When are they going to reopen? What's going to look like when they reopen? And about a month ago, they announced prematurely, as I've talked about before, they announced a planned reopening of the Disneyland Resort in Anaheim and California Adventure and Downtown Disney. The parks were originally going to open on July 17th, along with the hotels. But then it was only a little over a week ago when, due to rising coronavirus cases in California, they had to take that back and cancel their reopening plans for their parks. What they did leave was the planned reopening date for the Downtown Disney District, which is their shopping, dining, and entertainment venue. So it's Wednesday, July 8th right now, and I just wanted to talk about my plans for going tomorrow on Thursday, which will be the first day, which is the plan. Talk about maybe what to expect, what my expectations are, and just maybe kind of look into the future as far as potentially when the parks themselves will open back up. And there's been some news and maybe some other developments that we can kind of look to maybe theorize when the parks will actually be open, which is what I and a lot of other theme park fans and just Disney fans, specifically living in Southern California, are really looking forward to. So, what to expect? It's going to be a little different because before you could park in the Mickey and Friends parking lot, the new Pixar parking lot, the Simba parking lot, the Toy Story parking lot, and you could enter Downtown Disney from a lot of different areas. As far as I know and what I've been reading, parking is going to be restricted to the Simba parking lot. It's an outdoor parking lot. It's not a garage, and it's located adjacent to the Disney Hotel. So it looks like that's where they're going to shepherd all of the parking for Downtown Disney going forward. And I believe you're still going to have to pay, I think, $20 to park there, which is, I'm not a big fan of that, obviously, not just for the money reasons, but in contrast, Universal City Walk in Los Angeles gave complimentary parking to people who were visiting City Walk as a kind of impetus to try and or incentive to try and get people to come back. So maybe they're just anticipating crowds aren't going to be an issue. They're going to maybe potentially have to turn people away, so might as well charge for parking. I get it. You know, I get it. I would have done it, but I get why they're doing it. So parking in the Simba lot, and then we'll all be shepherded one way, where we will then be submitted to a temperature check, which has become pretty standard for pretty much a lot of places you go where they're anticipating relatively high crowds in those limited opportunities around the country that there are. So temperature check, 100.4 degrees Fahrenheit or lower, and you're good. Anything above you and your party, so whoever you're with, if you get a temperature above 100.4 degrees Fahrenheit, the whole party's out. I think you're done. So obviously taking that serious. Is there a chance for a variance in the temperature to where, you know, someone could actually slip through the fever? Of course there is, but that's to be expected. They're doing the best they can with that, and I think that'll be fine. Another thing, face masks will be required for, I think, anyone ages 2 and above, unless you have a special medical condition, I believe. So masks. An obvious sticking point, right? When you're in Downtown Disney, you're gonna have to wear a mask. Unless you're physically eating or drinking, the mask will have to be on. And I hope what they implement is some mask free zones, like I've seen in Universal Studios Orlando and Islands of Adventure. Throughout the park, they have, I think they call them U-Rest stations or something like that. But basically, it's a secluded area in the park where you are able to take the mask off and just have a little bit of a reprieve for a little bit. Anything will help, especially if you're at a theme park all day. It's going to be really hard to keep it on and keep your sanity. So I hope they have something like that. That's definitely one of the things I'll be looking for while I'm there to try and report on. What else? Two more things. Obviously, they're going to try and socially distance people as well as they can. I'm anticipating markers on the floor when you're in the shops and the restaurants, more social distancing markers, trying to keep people at least 6 feet away from each other as best they can. Again, they can put all these things into place however they want. It's going to be contingent upon the people adhering to them and following them and doing the right thing. So if you go to Downtown Disney or anywhere that is asking for you to socially distance, just follow along, please, for everyone else, to make it as smooth as possible. Just listen to what they're asking you and do what they tell you to do. Come on, don't ruin it for everyone else. So yeah, they're going to socially distance. They're asking for contactless payments, so obviously no cash. Obviously they would prefer something like Apple Pay, at the very least, your credit card, debit card, whatever. But cash, I think, is the last resort option. Some places I've seen don't even take cash anymore. They're only doing electronic payment or contactless payment. So for obvious reasons, that money's dirty anyway. And then just lastly, they're going to be implementing more sanitizing and hand washing stations, which is a no-brainer. I'll be personally having my own little drawstring backpack. I'll have plenty of my own sanitizer, maybe some disinfectant wipes, a backup mask, stuff like that. I'm not going to be relying on other people to provide me with my own cleaning material. I'm fine bringing my own. I'll use the free stuff when I can, just because it is still relatively difficult to get good hand sanitizer and good disinfectant products. So when it's being provided, I will definitely be taking advantage of that. So I'm reading an article on the OC Register, the Orange County Register, which is a newspaper in Orange County where Disneyland is located. And they have a list of all the places that are going to be open. And I just wanted to go through those real quick and maybe predict where I'll be going and see what isn't closed. That's also, important to note. For restaurants, it's a little bit more difficult than it would have been a week ago, because the governor recently mandated kind of a rolling back of some of the reopening procedures we have been getting into. So restaurants, no more indoor dining, only allowed outdoor dining. So some of these restaurants are going to be hindered by that. They've been trying to, from what I've seen, put in place more outdoor dining, but it's going to be hard. So some of the restaurants probably, it'll be more cost prohibitive to open just to accommodate 10 outdoor patio seating. It makes more financial sense just to stay closed at that point. So we'll try and see what we got here and then comment on what is and isn't going to be open. Okay, so just rolling down food and beverage first. These are the places that will be open tomorrow on opening day, and I anticipate more will open as the days and weeks go on. But this is what's going to be open starting tomorrow on opening day. Asian Street Eats, Black Tap Craft Burgers and Shakes, California Churro, Earl of Sandwich, Jamba Juice, Kayla's Cakes, Marceline's Confectionery, Naples Ristorante E-Bar, been there many times, Salt and Straw ice cream place, Starbucks. There's two Starbucks in downtown Disney, what they refer to as Starbucks and Starbucks West. Starbucks West is really nice. It's one of my favorites that I've ever been to. It's just really, really well designed, great atmosphere. It says both Starbucks are going to be open, so I think I will definitely at least hit one of those at some point or another tomorrow. The Uva Bar and Cafe, which is of course the outdoor bar and restaurant area, the circular area, and then finally Wetzel's Pretzels and Wetzel's Diggity Dog. So a lot of the more fast casual quick service places are open for obvious reasons. They can still conduct their business at a relatively normal pace. A lot of the bigger restaurants are going to be facing more issues, and again, could be more cost prohibitive to open rather than to just stay closed, which is unfortunate. Obviously notable by their absence restaurant-wise, Ballast Point Brewery, which is one of the newer places, one of my favorite places. Places that are exclusively bars have to close, but since Ballast Point is technically a bar slash brewery slash restaurant, if you order food, you could get alcohol. They technically could be open, but it looks like they're opting not to reopen because I think a lot of their business comes directly from the alcohol. So that's one I'm not too surprised to see. What I am surprised to see is Tortilla Joe's. I've been there many times. It is pretty good as far as, you know, chain Mexican food goes. But they do have outdoor seating and a good amount too. Obviously they have more seating inside, but I thought, considering I'm trying to picture their outdoor seating area, it is bigger than most places out there. So I thought maybe they would be open, but they're not. So that's unfortunate because that's actually the place I was thinking about maybe going, but it is what it is. Also, not on this list is Jazz Kitchen. That makes sense. They do have a very small outdoor seating area, but most of the real estate as far as seating goes is inside. So I do understand why that's going to be closed. It's unfortunate though because it's like a downtown Disney staple, and the food is good. I've been there multiple times. So that's unfortunate to see. And there's some other ones that aren't on here that I'm trying to think of that I just can't think of off the top of my head. But based off this, definitely going to hit up Starbucks, at least one of the Starbuckses. Food-wise, I'm thinking maybe Naples, the Italian place, or maybe just get pizza. So yeah, I'm thinking off the top of my head, the Naples Ristorante is probably a possibility. Maybe pizza would be something relatively easy to get, and see if we can get a table outside. They have a good outdoor seating area that I've been to. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. Almost everything else is just quick service, like, you know, Jamba Juice, California Churro, West's Pretzels, obviously. Salt and Straw isn't really dinner. Earl's Sandwich, a possibility. I was thinking about maybe trying that Asian Street Eats place. That's one of the newer places. I think they just opened in like February. Terrible timing. But I think they're set up right out in front of what used to be Rainforest Cafe. I don't know what they're going to do with that building. That Rainforest Cafe building is enormous, and it's really themed, so it'd be hard to repurpose that into a lot of other things. So that's something I've been thinking about. Okay, looking at the retail shops that are going to be open tomorrow. Let's just go right off the list. Curl Surf, the Disney Dress Shop, Disney Home, Disney's Pin Traders, the Lego Store, Pandora Jewelry, Rinse Bath and Body Co., Sephora, Sugar Boo & Co., Sunglass Icon, Wonderground Gallery, and World of Disney. So I think retail has a little bit easier of a situation here to reopen, as long as they keep people distance as best they can and can manipulate capacity. They pretty much all the retail shops should be able to open. Really the only two I have any interest going into off this list is obviously the World of Disney store and the Lego store. I don't really plan on buying anything. Specifically, I don't plan on buying anything in the Lego store, but if I'm walking through the World of Disney store and I see something, just like I saw some cool stuff when we went to the Universal Studios store in City Walk, I might pick up a few little things just to, try and show some support and show that I know Disney is a huge company and they're going to be fine in the long run, but still, I believe in supporting the things that you like to do. Whether it's other YouTubers or even big corporations. Like, I like Starbucks. I like having Starbucks by me. I support Starbucks. I have other small coffee shops I go to, but I like Starbucks is my favorite. Trust me, if I liked something else better, I would go to it. Starbucks happens to be my favorite. If there were other theme parks I liked better than Disney and Universal, I would go, because trust me, it's not cheap to go to these places, but I like them so much, I invest my money and go and do that. So that's just a rant, but tangent aside, pretty much those two stores only. I mean, the main Disney store and the Lego store. That's it. It'll be cool just to see the Lego store again, just because they have the great Lego sculptures out front. They have I think they still have the Hulk inside. They have a genie. They have the dragon, obviously. I think Buzz Lightyear and Woody flying. Beauty and the Beast, I think they have out there. It'll be cool just to see that again. So yeah, actually I was going down this list and actually have a list of things that are notably missing venues from the reopening. So like we talked about, Ballast Point, the Jazz Kitchen, Tortilla Joe's, Sprinkles Cupcakes isn't going to be open. Forgot about that one. I feel like they would be one of the ones that could open. Yeah, I thought they'd be open. I'm a bit surprised by Splitsville Luxury Lanes, a bowling alley, I think they fall under a different set of rules, so not surprised to see them closed, obviously, even though they do serve food. But yeah, it just doesn't make sense for them to open, I think. La Brea Bakery and Cafe, been there before, it's pretty good. I think their outside seating is definitely limited, so again, makes sense for them not to close. So it's going to be a bit difficult tomorrow. I get off work at 5:15 in the afternoon, so I'm going to have to really jet out. It'll take me about 30-40 minutes to get there, and they're only open from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. So probably have to, we don't have much to do, but still, if all things go well, I'll get there around 6, and then we'll be, kind of up against it to try and fit, a meal and some walking around in 2 hours, which I think will be fine. But I am excited to go. Safety concerns, I think I don't really have any besides the obvious. I mean, obviously it's going to be a risk, but I think with the face masks, the safety procedures they've put into effect, I know I'll have my own sanitizing material, and I know I can follow the rules. I talked about it in my why I plan on going to Disney video, which was made prematurely because now that plan was scrapped. But I know I can follow the rules. It's all about the other people around you and having to trust them, which I don't necessarily do. I've seen other vlogs of people going to theme parks that are open currently, and some people are really just being selfish and not following the protocol. It's like, come on, it's not the end of the world. If we want to slowly start to reopen these things more, we just have to follow the rules. It's not that complicated. I know it's inconvenient. I know it sucks sometimes, but it has to be done. Just briefly want to talk about potentially when the Disney parks and the Universal Studios Hollywood potentially might be opening. If I had to guess right now, given the COVID-19 cases in California, and specifically Orange and Los Angeles County, which are pretty close to each other, it's all basically one big area. Tons of people in this relatively small area. Cases are going up. Testing is going up still. Over 100,000 tests a day just in California, which is good. Testing is the key, most experts say, to eventually quelling the spread. But the death rate has gone down marginally, which is good. I think it just makes sense because the people who are getting infected recently are younger people who are less susceptible to to death from COVID-19, which is why it makes sense to see an increase positivity but a decrease in fatality. So good and bad news. Less people are dying, but more people are getting infected. So there's that. So if I had to make a guess, I would say if things continue as they are and will naturally go down because they can't go up forever again. A couple months ago they were going up, and then it kind of stopped, flattened a little bit, and then started going down. So I think if we can get to at least the flattening and then hopefully the descent, I think we can get to that point by the end of the month. They will announce our phase reopening for about mid-August. So my guess right now would be towards the end of July, they will announce their planned, again, phase reopening of Disneyland, Disney California Adventure, and hopefully Universal Studios will follow. They're not connected, literally. Figuratively they are, but I think they'll announce a reopening for mid-August, sometime around the end of July. I think they're going to announce their planned reopening closer to the actual date they would reopen, because remember last time they announced their planned reopening a month before the park was actually going to open, which I think was a mistake. I think this time they'll do it more in that 2-week range. So July 30th, they'll say, hey, we're going to open Disney and California Adventure on August 15th, whatever day that is. I think that'd be the more smart thing to do. Obviously, they have to get approval from the state and the county to open back up. But I think if we can get back to that point where the curve's flattened and hopefully on the way down, and the death rate still continues to go down, again, if you match that with their increased safety and sanitation, I don't see why they couldn't. Especially since Florida, Walt Disney World in Florida is moving right on ahead with their reopening of Disney World. They're opening on Saturday. The first park, I think, the Magic Kingdom and the Animal Kingdom. So obviously Florida governor and California governor have opposing political views. Obviously they've dealt with the coronavirus differently, for better or for worse. that's debatable, and I probably won't be able to be really determined until years from now. But one thing that is an immediate difference is how they're dealing with theme parks. Obviously, Disney World's opening on Saturday. Right now, we don't really have any timeline, firm timeline for the California theme parks. Again, is that good or bad? That remains to be seen. So I think the degree of success that Walt Disney World has in their reopening in Orlando these next couple weeks will play a large role in the plan for Disneyland Resort and California Adventure in Anaheim, and their reopening plan. So definitely keep an eye on that. But I think again, we have to get that curve kind of flattened again as far as the new cases, and hopefully get it starting to go down. And once we get to that point, I think they'll roll out their plans, get the government approval, and we'll be good to go. Hope you enjoyed this little preemptive planning video of my downtown Disney visit. I will be there tomorrow night for the grand reopening. It'll have already been open during the day, but I'll get there for the last couple hours. I'll definitely be recording it, vlogging it, and trying to show you what's up, what it's like, the safety in place. I'll give you my opinion, whether I feel safe or not, how other people are adhering to the guidelines and the mask requirement and that kind of thing, and see and show you how the stores and the restaurants are operating in this new kind of environment. I'm excited to go. I'm excited to document it and show everyone else what it's like. So thank you so much for indulging me. I hope you're excited to get back into the theme parks like I am, even if it's something small, just like going to Downtown Disney, which of course we took for granted for a long time, and now something so simple as just going to get a coffee at Starbucks in Downtown Disney seems like a real treat. But thank you for indulging me. I enjoyed making this video. I hope you enjoyed watching, and be on the lookout for that Downtown Disney vlog. And until next time, peace.